Nestled at the edge of a picturesque town, the Hawthorne bed and breakfast exuded charm and warmth. Its ivy-covered facade and inviting glow promised a tranquil retreat from the chaos of the outside world. However, as a group of unsuspecting guests would soon discover, the quaint inn held secrets that transcended the boundaries of time itself. Among the guests were Alex and Emma, a couple seeking a romantic getaway, along with Jack, a weary traveller, and Eleanor, an enigmatic writer in search of inspiration. Little did they know that their stay at the Hawthorne would become a haunting descent into an endless night. As twilight painted the sky in hues of amber and violet, the guests gathered in the cosy common area, sharing stories and laughter over a crackling fireplace. The innkeeper, Mrs. Hawthorne, a gracious woman with a twinkle in her eye, regaled them with tales of the inn's storied past. Unbeknownst to the guests, the tales held a clue to the unsettling fate that awaited them. As the night wore on, a sudden chill descended upon the air. The flames in the fireplace flickered erratically, casting dancing shadows on the walls. The atmosphere in the room shifted, and an uneasy silence settled over the guests. The clock struck midnight, signalling the beginning of an inexplicable phenomenon. The room seemed to ripple, the air charged with a palpable energy. The guests exchanged bewildered glances as a sense of déjà vu gripped them. Mrs. Hawthorne, frozen in place, repeated the same words she had spoken earlier, her voice a haunting echo. Confusion gave way to alarm as the guests realized they were trapped in a time loop, reliving the same moments over and over again. The comforting glow of the fire, the laughter, and Mrs. Hawthorne's tales all played out in a disconcerting loop, each repetition tinged with a growing sense of dread. Days blurred into nights, and the guests, trapped in the relentless cycle, grappled with the surreal nature of their predicament. Conversations became stilted, and laughter turned to nervous chuckles. The once inviting inn transformed into a prison of perpetual night, and the guests, bound by the mysterious force that ensnared them, sought answers in the echoes of their own voices. Amid the repetition, Eleanor, the quiet writer, began to notice subtle inconsistencies. A misplaced item here, a flicker of a shadow there, tiny anomalies that eluded the awareness of the others. Determined to unravel the enigma, she delved into the inn's history, poring over forgotten documents and fading photographs that hinted at a dark secret. As Eleanor pieced together the fragments of the past, she discovered that the Hawthorne bed and breakfast was once the residence of a woman named Isabella Hawthorne. Legend held that Isabella, a practitioner of the occult, had sought to harness the power of time itself. In a misguided attempt to glimpse the future, she inadvertently trapped herself and the house in a perpetual loop. Driven by an insatiable desire for knowledge, Isabella's experiments had torn the fabric of time, condemning her and anyone who crossed the threshold of the Hawthorne to relive the same night for eternity. The guests, unwitting pawns in her temporal experiment, now grappled with the consequences of Isabella's quest for forbidden knowledge. Eleanor, armed with this newfound understanding, gathered the guests in the common area. With a steely resolve, she revealed the dark history of the inn and outlined a plan to break free from the relentless time loop. The solution, she explained, lay in locating Isabella's long-lost journal, a key to unlocking the temporal prison that held them captive. As the group embarked on a collective search, the inn revealed hidden passages and secret rooms that had eluded their notice in previous iterations. Whispers of the past echoed through the halls as the guests, guided by Eleanor's insights, navigated the labyrinthine inn in search of the elusive journal. The atmosphere crackled with tension as the group uncovered Isabella's study, a room untouched by the relentless cycle. Dust-covered tomes lined the shelves, and a sense of foreboding hung in the air. Among the forgotten relics, Eleanor discovered Isabella's journal, its pages filled with cryptic incantations and desperate scribblings. With the journal in hand, Eleanor led the group to the heart of the inn, a chamber adorned with arcane symbols that pulsed with an otherworldly energy. As the clock struck midnight, Eleanor recited the incantation from Isabella's journal, invoking powers that transcended the bounds of time. The room trembled as the temporal forces that held the Hawthorne bed and breakfast captive began to unravel. The guests, bathed in an ethereal light, felt the weight of the time loop lift from their shoulders. The incessant repetition gave way to a moment of suspended reality, and then, as the last echoes of the incantation faded, the Hawthorne bed and breakfast stood free from the shackles of the temporal curse. The group emerged from the inn into the first light of dawn, the air tinged with the freshness of a new day. The one-strapped guests, now liberated from the relentless cycle, watched as the sun painted the sky in hues of gold and rose. Mrs. Hawthorne, no longer frozen in repetition, greeted them with a genuine smile. As the guests bid farewell to the Hawthorne bed and breakfast, the town unfolded before them, alive with the promise of a future unburdened by the ghosts of the past. Eleanor, the quiet writer who had uncovered the secrets of the temporal prison, turned to the inn one last time. In its ivy-covered facade, she glimpsed a reflection of the resilience that had guided them through the endless night. The Hawthorne bed and breakfast, once a vessel of temporal torment, stood as a testament to the indomitable spirit of those who dared to confront the mysteries that transcended the boundaries of time. The guests, forever changed by their harrowing experience, walked away with a newfound appreciation for the fragility of moments and the enduring strength that lies in breaking free from the loops that threaten to ensnare the soul.